Hello everyone and welcome to the Pocono Raceway. We are here for the 11th race of the AKG Cup Series, season number 5 for the PPG Paints 400. After this race we have 5 races to go before we get to the end of the regular season, and the chase will begin with the top 16 of course advancing on, and it should be a very interesting race to get to that point, and of course a very interesting race here today. 3 turns, 2.5 miles long. Should be a very entertaining race here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. We'll get to the starting lineup rolling on the bottom of your screen. And for the first time since season 1 at Homestead, William Brock is on the pole, third career pole. Joining him, best career start for Colin Denton in the number 21. Row 2 belongs to Dawson Miller in the number 48, and points leader and season 1 Pocono race winner, Tristan Allen. Row 3, fresh off a win last week at Kansas, Julio Caesar comes into this race 5 points off the championship lead. He's joined by Alexander Rowe in the number 51. 5 wins on the season between those two guys. Row 4, great starting spot for Diego Yepes, the highest starting rookie in the field, and Dominic Anthony, the season 3 Pocono winner. Row 5, the third of the Hedgehog Motorsports Chevrolets, Charlie Davenport from 9th, and season 2 Pocono winner, Kian Raleigh. Row 6, Richard Fridge in the number 26 is making a push to try and get into the chase. He's joined by Simon Nichols in the number 3. Row 7, Jake Rogers got his first career win back here in the second Pocono race in Season 2, and Ryan Benjamin in the number 36. Row 8, best start of the year and best start of his career for Christian Vargas in the number 43, and Henry Gore in the number 72. Row 9, Carter Friesen in the 46 looking to bounce back after some disappointing races, and Addison Steinbach in the number 53. Rounding out the top 20, we have the number 2 of Cody Smart and the number 96 of Benny Watson. You'll see the rest of the starting lineup rolling on the bottom of your screen. 50 laps around this 2.5 mile triangle. Long Pond, Pennsylvania, of course. You see Brandon Bent from 21st, Jake Porkers 24th, Noah Clifton, Mitchell Collins a bit further back, Eli Bright. All these guys that are currently in the chase or looking to try and make their way and starting a bit further back than they would like. Kelly Lee and Ren Nasip as well. They kind of fall into that category as well. They're not terribly far back there in the points, but starting a bit further back than they would have liked. For William Brock, it's a great opportunity to capitalise. We'll take a look at the points in a minute. Jamie Rose is another one of those drivers who starts a long way back, considering she needs to consolidate her spot in the top 16 coming into this race at 15th in points. DQ's on the bottom of the screen. Logan Williams, David Johnson for only the second time this year, Trey Wright and Jack Halleck once again missing the show. Race 11 of 26 in the year, 50 laps, 2 to 3 pit stops. Really depends on whether or not we get yellows or not. And of course, 6 races, including this one, remaining before the chase begins. And here's the chase bubble. Dominic Anthony 60 ahead, Henry Gore 46. William Brock at 16th in points, 3 ahead of the cut line. So starting from pole, could have a really good run. Mitchell Collins starts 22nd. He's 3 points out. Cody Smart, Richard Fridge, Kelly Lee, Noah Clifton, Renan Nasip, all within striking distance. But again, this could be a great opportunity for William Brock and Colin Denton, who would like to consolidate his spot a little bit more heading into the final few races before the chase begins. The pace car is on pit road, and William Brock and Colin Denton will lead us to the green. The green flag's out, and we are racing at Pocono. And into turn number 3, getting ready to complete the first lap as Denton, who lost the second position on the start to Dawson Miller, quickly gets it back. But William Brock from the pole will lead the first lap of action in the PPG Paints 400. But he's under some pressure. Here goes the 21 to the inside. Colin Denton looking to take the lead. He hasn't done that very much in his career so far, his short career. Looking to change that right here. He's on the inside of the number 1 of William Brock. The outside lane off of turn 1 usually gets a bit of a run, but 21's able to hang on the inside. They're going to be side by side through the tunnel turn. And Brock able to hang on the outside, but Denton's still there. It's a good side-by-side battle between these two. And then you got Miller and Caesar right behind as there goes the 21. Drives it in very deep into turn 3, and he gets the race lead. As there is Julio Caesar, second in points. Our last winner in the Cup Series. He's going to the inside of Dawson Miller, but won't be able to do anything. And there's our points leader. Tristan Allen comes into this race 5 points ahead of Caesar. And now Miller to the inside of William Brock here for the second position. Looking to clear off of turn number 1. They're going to be side by side, heading down towards turn number 2. And Caesar all over the back of Miller, looking to benefit as well. And Miller is going to clear. So he's now up into the second position. And you got the 40. So the 48's in second. It's all happening behind Colin Denton in the number 21, and Caesar is up into third back there in the 25. Here comes the 42, Charlie Davenport. Had a good run at Kansas last week, was up in the top 10 for a lot of the race. He's up in the 5th position, great start for him. He's now right behind his, fair to say, much more experienced teammate in William Brock. And you got Rogers and Allen, a couple of DW cars. Allen looking to extend his points lead a bit. Here's the third Hair Gel Motorsports car, Diego Yepes. Started 7th. He's fallen back to 8th. Then Friesen and Gwar. Friesen needs a good run if he wants to stay within the hunt. Stay in the hunt of a chase spot. As Brock is really struggling early on here. And Dawson Miller has caught up to the back of the 21 of Denton. He might make a move here into turn 3. He's going to just keep it there for now. It's a top 3 breakaway with Caesar in third. New colours for him this week with Wawa coming back aboard that team, and Davenport has made his way up into the 4th spot. Rogers is now up into 5th, and Brock is under a lot of pressure early on. Is now Yepes. So the rookies at Hair Gel Motorsports pressuring their much more experienced teammate who started on pole. It's not gone off to the perfect start for Willie Brock so far. That's a good start for Colin Denton. He continues to lead. But he's got the 48 all over the back of him and looking to try and potentially make a move here into the tunnel turn, but he's not close enough. And then you got Caesar in the 25. He's got a pretty good run through turn 2, and he's going to go to the inside here. He's going to try and make a move to get up into the second position. Into 3, and he will get him. And so, into team battle. And Caesar has had an excellent year. Best year in Cup so far. 2 wins. He's now gone up into second place, but he might not be for that long because the switchback by Dawson Miller as Davenport goes down low, potentially trying to follow through. And look at that. You see just a little bit of a run. That's a good shot to get. See a little bit of a run that the outside lane gets. And the 25 trying to clear the 48, but he's not going to do it. The 48 of Miller drives it in pretty hard. Rogers going underneath the Davenport for 4th. Back in there. Caesar trying to hang on. They're going to be side by side in turn 3. And I think Miller will get him. And Rogers is going to try and follow through. So he's trying to get up into the 3rd position. Of course, got his first career win here. Back in Season 2. As mentioned in the starting lineup. He will not be able to get past the 25. As the 25 had a pretty good run on that outside lane. Davenport and Allen. Let's battle for the 5th position. Tell you what, good run for Davenport though. He's had a rough start to the year, but he's had a good run so far in this race. Allen might be able to hang on the inside, but Caesar is going to go to the inside here in turn number 2. He's going to try and get this second position. They're going to be side by side off the turn and down, heading towards turn number 3. We'll see. I think he'll be able to get him, and he will. So Miller will fall back into the 3rd position, and Davenport with a pretty good run. Rogers got stuck behind the 48 and couldn't get to the inside, but now he's all over the back of him and able to push each other past the 42. As you see, Rogers going to the inside. They're 3 wide behind. That is Dominic Anthony. And we'll see. I hope they can make it. 3 wide doesn't always work. And they've made it work so far. Anthony the inside of Gwar and Allen. He's going to be able to hang in there for turn 2. He will. Still 3 wide. Doing a great job holding onto it. And they're going to double file it back. Tristan Allen could not hang on that outside. There's the third Gifford Trading car. Alexander Road. 3 wins on the year for him. There's your Pez in the 47. He's still run amongst this top 10 group to the inside of Henry Gore, trying to make something happen. Battle on for second. These two guys continue the battle. The Nicotech teammates, Caesar and Miller. And Miller trying to get to the inside, but he cannot. The 25 of Caesar cuts down and holds the position. But Colin Denton, since he has taken the lead on lap 2, he's been able to hold it. Miller trying to go to the inside once again. So this battle continues between the two Nicotech teammates. Caesar once again holding on the position. Denton still leads. We got a crash in the back. Big crash. The 56 is involved. I don't know who it was. That's the 40 of Jamie Rose involved. Jared Oren, Brandon Nelson. Simon Nichols involved, and he drives it to the 91 of Oren. My goodness. Big time crash in turn number 2. Brandon Nelson's car heavily damaged. And lots of others as well. There's plenty of cars on pit road. There's Nathan Norman in his return. Oh, and look at that. That's William Brock, Ryan Benjamin, Carter Friesen, Benny Watson. There's Brock, our pole sitter. He was involved. And his car is destroyed. Friesen, Watson, who came into this race in the top 5 in points. Jared Oren involved as well. It's a mess. Big time crash. Oh, man. So look at the damage on William Brock's car. That car is completely destroyed. Simon Nichols, Carter Friesen, Benny Watson. Well, for Friesen, Benjamin, Brock, and Nichols, I mean, they're all looking to make it in. Watson's pretty comfortable as it stands, but that will hurt his chances at potentially a top 5 in the championship. But that will hurt William Brock. He came in 3 points ahead, of course, of Mitchell Collins. And now out of the race, really, before it got about 10 laps in. That is a tough break for not just Brock, of course, but everyone, but particularly Brock, as he came in 16th in points. Tell you what, he's been involved in a few wrecks this year. Flipped at Atlanta and been involved in a few more. It's not really been the return to full-time racing that he would have wanted. As we have our first pit stops of the race. So Denton will lead them down, followed by Caesar and Miller. And we'll see what these guys do here in terms of strategy. And we'll see where they place by the end of this. We'll follow here. We'll go to pit road cam. So Denton now with the closest pit stall to the end of pit road, of course, now with Brock out of this race. It's a tough break for him. Let's see here, and that is Charlie Davenport in the 42 winning the race off. As he wins the race off, Rogers in second, Henry Gwar in third in the 72, Neil Alexander Rowe and Diego Yepes. That's your top 5. And I think they may have taken 2 tires there. I saw Denton took 4. Anyways, we'll find that out. We'll see what happened to trigger the first caution of the race. Charlie Davenport is your race leader. Let's take a look at what happened. Here's what happened to trigger the caution. And you'll see it's contact initiated here between Brock and Watson. Ryan Benjamin's trying to make it 3 wide. And then they just hook each other. The 96 and the 1. They just hook each other. And this is a really hard hit. Bang! Driver's side. Big time impact. And they'll slide back up. And Benjamin and Simon Nichols, nowhere to go. Carter Friesen, nowhere to go. He was definitely an innocent bystander. He's had a really rough couple of races. Nathan Ormond, Eli Bright got a piece of it in the 95, but he relatively got away with it. And you'll see back in here, Jamie Rose straight into Watson. Austin Johnson with a bit of damage. in the 66, and then Jared Oren in the 91. Right into the 40. And then hit on the driver's side by Brandon Nelson. You see up ahead, Lorenz Marga getting spun around. Nathan Stapleton was involved in that as well. And then lots of damage. You see Chris Maley getting a little bit of it. It's not been his year, to say the least. And then in comes Simon Nichols. I don't know what he's doing here. But he drives right into the side. And look at that. That is all four. That's the whole car off the ground. That's how big of a hit that was. That was all four wheels. That was the whole car off the ground. Look at the damage. And for Watson, well, he came into this race 4th in points. Brock 16th. Of course, he was on the chase cut off. Jared Oren wasn't really in it, but in the chase hunt. But it's a shame for him. He isn't on board with William Brock. Hang on. He gets stuck in the wall for good measure. Big time crash. Big time hit. Here's Brandon Benson on board. He was right behind. He was right in front of all this. Disappear, and then that just comes straight back up on the racetrack. Nowhere for the 36 and the 3 to go. And here is Simon Nichols' point of view. Yeah, not much he could have done. I mean, nothing he could have done about that at all. Just wrong place, wrong time. This wasn't the only one, and then this was totally avoidable. He accelerates into it. It's very weird. Don't see that kind of thing from Simon Nichols very often. Puts him out of the running. Here's Benny Watson's on board. That last one from Jamie Rose, that was a big time hit. And here's Eli Bright, he got a piece of this too. See happening. Goes low, just gets clipped by the 56 on the way through, but it gets away with it relatively unscathed, but still gets a bit of it there. And then here's the other angle of this one, real time. Oh, that is such a violent hit. And then it gets even more. There's Rose, and yeah, well, big time crash on lap 9 of the race. So tough break for all these guys involved. And Watson looking for a top 5 in the championship. Rose and Brock as the cutoff drivers. It's a bad break for them. But Charlie Davenport, he is the race leader in the number 42. We'll take you back to the green right now. Coming back to the green this time, Charlie Davenport in the 42 is the race leader, and for the record, he did take 2 tyres, as did Jake Rogers in 2nd, Henry Gore 3rd, Alexander Rowe in 4th, and Diego Yepes in 5th. So the remaining 2 Hairgel Motorsport cars in the race, currently 1 and 5 at the moment. Both of them rookies too, so a testament to Pitnell going off for 2 tyres, of course, but also had a great run in qualifying, and we'll see what they could do with it. But Brock is out of the race. Rose out of the race. Nichols out of the race. They came in 13th, 15th, and 16th in points, respectively. So this is a bad break for them. Nichols was a bit safer. He comes in, 38 ahead coming into this one. And so still, it does make him a bit vulnerable. If guys like Collins, Cody Smart, Richard Fridge, Kelly Lee, they have good runs, they'll move up and challenge the 3s. The green flag's back out. We're back underway here at Pocono. It's a good restart. You see those guys there, all 2 laps down or more from Nathan Norman in the 56 down. They're all out of the race. Brock in 40th, Rose in 41st. The big losers in that one is, here goes Henry Gore to the inside, trying to get up into the 2nd position, as he got a pretty decent restart, and Rogers did not. Side by side through the tunnel turn. Alexander Rowe, he wants to get his 4th win of the year. 3 bonus points heading into the chase for every win you get. At the moment, he's pretty in a good position to make the chase. This guy isn't. Noah Clifton. Well, he could benefit, of course, with those guys kind of around the cutoff area being out of the race. You know, at the moment he comes in, was 16 points behind, so certainly in with a pretty decent shot as Addison Steinbach's going to make it 3 wide. Oh, and he's sliding up the racetrack. And Denton nearly got to the inside there in the number 21. He took 4 tyres. He's the first car in the field that did take 4 tyres. All these guys ahead of him took 2, and Davenport continuing to lead here, but under a bit of pressure as Cody Smart is on pit road. Now, Smart's another one of those guys who is in contention. He was 4 points behind Brock, and he is on pit road for some reason. So that's a tough break. We'll see if he's able to recover from it. Rowe is up into the 2nd position. Here goes the 98 of Rogers to the inside of Gore to Gifford Trinique. Teammates pushing each other down the front straightaway. So we'll see if Rogers can hold it. He will not. Oh, he does. He holds the inside of Henry Gore, and he might get up into the 3rd position as Alexander Rowe wants the race lead in the number 51, trying to get to the inside of Davenport. Side by side off into turn number 2. And it looks to be the 51 might clear him here, and he does. Alexander Rowe to the front. Davenport did not get a great run through turn 2. He's going to be vulnerable here as there goes the 98 of Rogers to the inside, and he's going to try and get up into the 2nd position and try and get after Alexander Rowe. Gore in 4th, Steinbach up into 5th spot back in there. As they're going to be side by side down the front straightaway. Gore's going to help out Davenport on that outside. On the entry and through the majority of the corner, turn 3 at least, the inside lane's the place to be, but the outside, off the turn and down the straightaway, usually the place to go, unless you get some pretty good help. As here goes Colin Denton in the number 21. He wants to try and get back up to the front as soon as he can, trying to get to the inside of Addison Steinbach, trying to make use of the 4 tyres. As Rose eked out a bit of a lead. Davenport under a lot of pressure here from Rogers. But Rogers can't quite do anything about it. And now Gore's going to try and make a move to the inside here. They're going to be side by side down the front straightaway, but he's going to immediately slot back in line as he did not get the necessary run required to get down that inside. So Rowe leads. Davenport, I haven't talked about Davenport in the chase standings. He comes into this race 28th in points, but at 58 off. So he's, at this stage, currently well out of it. But at the moment, running in the 2nd position, it's going to do him a world of good. That is for sure. But at the moment, it's still Alexander Rowe leading this race. But, Davenport's all over the back of him, and we'll see what he could do in that number 42. And here he goes. He's going to go to the inside. So Davenport trying to make the most of being up front. He hasn't really had the opportunity to be so far in his career. Of course, the rookie driver, and he has got it. He takes the lead. Now under a lot of pressure, though, because Roger's got a very good run. He's going to try and stay on the inside of Davenport. But I think the help from Rowe might be able to save the 42 for now. And the 42 does indeed cut down, but Roger's up into 2nd. Gore to the inside of his teammate Alexander Rowe. They're going to be side by side off the turn. Off into turn number 2 is the 98 of Rogers. Well, he had a disappointing run at Kansas. Had an engine failure very late in the going. Dropped into 41st in the race. Comes into this race 8th in points. He takes the lead off Davenport. Denton has got around Alexander Rowe, and he's going to try and get to the inside here of the 72 of Henry Gore. So the battle. So he's continuing to march his way forward. They're going to be side by side down the front. He looks like, well, he might be able to hold on to 3rd. Henry Gore is now Davenport trying to get back at Jake Rogers, trying to get back past him for the lead. But he had to get out of the gas. He had to get on the brakes. He got on the brakes a little too hard there. And Denton might take advantage here with those fresh tyres. He's all over the back of him. Don't be surprised if he makes a move. And there he goes. He ducks out to the left and drives it into turn number 2. And Colin Denton is up into 2nd place. Davenport on the outside. And he actually got very close to the back of Jake Rogers there. Gore drives it in very hard on the inside of Charlie Davenport. And Gore is going to get the third position, I think. So Gore's now up into third in the 72, and Denton is already on the back of his teammate Jake Rogers. And of course, Denton's still winless in his career, driving the car that won back here in Season 3. And now it goes to the inside. They're going to be side by side off the turn. Rogers is not going to give up that easily. Of course, already a win this year for Rogers at Atlanta. And Denton is going to hang with him though, and that's the powers of what 4 tires do against 2. Because a lot of the time, see the outside lane prevail in that situation down the back straightaway, but Denton is able to get past and reclaim the race lead. Gore is going to try and drive to the inside of the 98, but will not be able to do so. Davenport's still in 4th. Rowe, Brandon Bent started 21st. He's moved his way up, and he is continuing to move his way up. He's trying to get to the inside of Alexander Rowe for the 5th position, but will slot back into line. Watch the 27, of course, won here in Season 4. As there goes the 42, back to the inside. But again, you see that outside lane, it will prevail probably in this situation. Side by side, we'll see if Rowe here on the outside tries to get a run on the outside. He looks like he will try and get a run on the outside, but it might not help it because Brandon Bent on that inside lane. Tell you what, Brandon Bent looks pretty good at the moment. He's up into 5th position, of course. 2nd at Kansas. 1 at Talladega. So, on a pretty good hot streak at the moment, a defending champion. Gore is falling back. He just lost a spot to Davenport and Brandon Bent in turn 3. So, 2 spots lost in the one turn. You got all 4 DW cars. Tristan Allen in the 14. He's up trying to get him to the top 5 as well. So, Nicotech had all 4 of their cars in the top 5 at Kansas. And here is the lead Nicotech car, Dawson Miller in the 48 to the inside of Henry Gore. But then you got all the DW cars fighting back. All currently in the top 5 as it stands is now Bent to the inside of Davenport here. This is for the 3rd spot. And Brandon Bent's going to drive it into turn 2 pretty good, and he gets it. So Brandon Bent up into the 3rd spot, as I think Davenport nearly got the wall. Had to slow down a bit. Had to get off the gas a little bit, and now Allen, Miller, Gore is going to pounce on the 42. Julio Caesar in the 25 as well. All going to try and benefit from the 42 here. But Caesar just cannot get... He might still be on that inside. He is. He's going to try and get past this 42, and it looks like he will as Dominic Anthony drives it in pretty deep. Nearly gets into the 26 of Richard Fridge, and he is just unable to make the move stick. As we'll go back up to the front, and it's still Denton out in front. DW 1 through 4, but might not be for very long because Dawson Miller has gone to the inside of Tristan Allen. Brandon Bent to the inside of Jake Rogers, and breezes past up into the 2nd position. So Brandon Bent on the tear, and he's followed by Dawson Miller in the 48. As he goes to the inside of Rogers. They're going to be side by side down the front straight away, and it looks like that it will be still side by side off into turn number 1. Can the 98 respond on the outside? We've seen that a couple times. No, he won't. Miller comes up and just covers him. And now he's under pressure because now Tristan Allen's going to go to the inside. So Rogers goes from 2nd to 5th in not too much time at all. Back up to the front. Here we go. 27 of Brandon Bent, the 21 of Colin Denton. They're going to be side by side, and to the front for the first time today, Brandon Bent. He's going to take the lead here at Pocono. Denton falls back into 2nd, but does not get a great run off the turn. And here comes the 48 of Miller to the inside. So now they're going to be side by side, heading off into turn number 1. There's a car ahead as well. That's Derek Hamill, the 19. So I don't know if his car's off the pace or not, but we'll see. We're going to run up on him pretty quickly. It's now Miller, Denton, Allen, and Rogers. That's your top 5. And Denton looking to fight back. Oh, and maybe nearly got into the back of the 48. I don't know if there was contact or not, but it was certainly pretty close. Got the 48 out of the way. Now Allen's going to try and make it 3 wide, maybe. Yes, he will. He's going to trying to get to the inside of Denton. He gets to the inside of Miller. There's now cars behind him pitting. Rogers in the 98, he took 2 tyres, and there's a lot of them. Gore, Caesar, Alexander Rowe, Kelly Lee, Porkins, Davenport. All those guys coming in for their second pit stop. So this will mean this will be a 3-stop race for everyone. Let's see more cars. So that would explain why we saw Derek Hamill in the picture just a moment ago, because of course he was pitting. Well, he's just coming out of the pits. So here's the battle for second. Miller, Denton, and Tristan Allen. Allen trying to get his way up into the 3rd position. Won't be able to do so. Denton falls back into 3rd. And Miller into the 2nd spot. And here we go. Brandon Bennett's going to come down, and he is going to pit for the 2nd time. And all the guys behind him. Miller, Denton, Allen, and Dominic Anthony all pitting. The majority of the field, of course, came down last time. And we'll see here where these guys come out in relation to each other. Lorenz Marcus, the car with no front end. He crashed with Chris Maley on pit road, by the way. That is why he's got so much front end damage. And we'll see here where they come out in relation. You see, Brandon's already on his left side. So we'll see where they come out in relation to each other. There's the 44 of Brandon Nelson. He's off the pace. And Brandon Bennett's going to get on the lead. Denton with a slow pit stop back in the 21. He loses a bunch of ground. And Nelson is covering the 27. The 27 not willing to really go out on the racetrack and try and get around the outside. We'll see here. He might dive off to the inside now. There he goes. But he was very slow. Brandon Nelson way off the pace. And Dawson Miller is all over the back of the 27. He caught up a lot because of the 44 of Brandon Nelson. And he's going to go to the inside. Going to be side by side through 2 down the straightaway. Into turn 3. Here comes the 72 to the inside. Henry Gore looking to get up into the 2nd position. May be able to do so. Miller takes the lead, or the effective lead as it stands. And now Gore's going to try and get to the inside of the 48. Side by side down the front. I think Miller might win that battle. Brandon Bennett ranging back onto the back. You see Richard Fridge coming off the pit road. It's the 72. Looks like he will get the 27. He won't clear him yet, I don't think. And Brandon Bennett trying to fight back. On that outside lane, you got Rogers on the inside. Kian Rowley has moved his way up into the top 5. There's Rogers. He's pushing the 72. The 72 yet to clear the 27. Of Brandon Bent. Looks like he'll be able to get by this time. And he does. And Rogers is going to follow suit. And here comes Rowley. You got Rogers and Rowley, both winners here in the past. And Brandon Bent, of course, is a former winner here as well. But he has just fallen back. Rowley now up into 4th. Rogers into 3rd. Gore into 2nd. But Miller now leading here at Pocono. So we've got a long race. Long way to go in this race. 21 laps to go. There's now Bent trying to fight back to the inside of Kian Rowley in the 10. He won't be able to do so. As you see up ahead, Rogers now on the inside. Now with 4 fresh tyres, now able to really fight these guys. Of course, Henry Gore's on 2 tyres as well, to be fair, but both those guys benefiting. Rogers, now here comes Brandon Bent. He is ranged past Kian Rowley and he's going to get past Henry Gore. And I thought he was going to try and make a move to the inside of his teammate Jake Rogers there for a moment, but he didn't. They keep everything together. There's Alexander Rowe. He's on the inside of the 10 of Rowley, trying to get up into the top 5. They're going to be side by side off into turn number 1. Let's see, can the 51 get him? Yes, he does. Here comes Clifton. Talked about before, 16 points behind the cut line. Brock out, Rose out, Nichols out. Very good run at the moment, running in the 7th position. But Brandon Bent, tell you what, he just finds a way every single time. That was a slow start to the year, but looks like he has found some form, and that win at Talladega looks like it's done him a world of good as Rogers falling back on the outside. Gore and Rowe are going to pounce. And Rowe looking to clear, and he does. So Rowe and Gore move ahead. Rogers loses 3 places in 1 turn. And now Rally looking to capitalise on that as well. He won't be able to do so. He falls back into the line. Clifton thought about making a move, but didn't. Allen in the 14. He's in the 8th position. It's a good run for him. He's ahead of Julio Caesar, and that's all really that matters at the moment. We're going to try and get that regular season championship. But Brandon Bent, I'll tell you what, he has found some form in the last few races. Here goes Alexander Rowe to the inside of his teammate. And they're going to be side by side, and it looks like Alexander Rowe is going to easily win that battle. Rogers is going to follow through. Gore's going to fall back on the outside. Rogers clears. He's into 4th. Yes, 4th. And Key Rally up in the top 5 as well. He's kind of come out of nowhere. Didn't see him really early in this race, but here he is now running up in the 5th position. Allen has gotten by Clifton, is now to the inside of Gore back there. And Allen is going to get up into 6th position. So they're now trying to go after Key Rally, and Brandon Bent looked like he was going to make a move there to the inside. He still might make that move, and he does. To the inside he goes. And Brandon Bent trying to get past Dawson Miller here for the lead here at Pocono. We are about 2/3 through this race. And now Bent gets past the 48. Will be coming to 17 to go this time. Bent to the front. Alexander Rowe looking to follow through in the 51. He wants his 4th win of the year. You get 3 points for every win you get. So, as a default, Alexander Rowe, if he were to end it right here and he would make the chase, he'd get at least 2,009 points based on his 3 wins alone. So, more wins the merrier. Miller holds on to 2nd though, and Brandon Bent's pulled out a bit of a gap already. So, tell you what, that 27 looks pretty good at the moment. Looking to get back-to-back wins here at Pocono. Did it last year, looking to do it again. Rogers now all over the back of the 51 here. He might try and make a move to the inside. He doesn't. He holds the 4th position as it currently stands. But, you see Rally under a lot of pressure here from Tristan Allen. And then you got Clifton in the 6th. He's on the inside of Henry Gore. And this will give South Florida Motorsports a lot of confidence as well, of course. Moved to Toyota only a couple of years ago from Chevy. Nearly won a championship back in Season 3. As here goes the 51 of Rowe. He wasn't able to get past, so he stays in the 3rd position. Allen making a move back in there in the 14. He'll slot back into the line, I think, and he does. Rowe's going to fight back to the inside. He stayed in the slipstream. We've got an issue for Marga. And the L8 has blown up. Probably, he's got to be careful here. He doesn't want to oh boy, that was Eli Bright getting very close to the 08, but looks like everything's going to be okay. I think that the 08 is going to make it on the pit road, and he will. So, no caution. We stay under green, and thankfully, no incident. Rowe is up into 2nd place and all that. He got around him probably in turn 3, and we completely missed it because of the 08 blowing up. So, that's a bit unfortunate, obviously. But here goes the 48 now back to the inside. In turn 2, the tunnel turn, they're going to be side by side. Into turn 3, and I think that the 48 may get it. Whoa! Rowe got run into. Jake Rogers, I think, completely... I don't know what happened. Mitchell misjudged it, I think. He ran straight into the back of Alexander Rowe, and he's going to lose out badly. There's Clifton now up into... So he's fallen to 6th, Rogers. He may lose another spot because Anthony's now going to go to the inside. They're going to be side by side through turn number 1. He may fall back to 7th here by the end of it. There's a big error by number 98. And Keen Rally was actually the biggest loser. He went from top 5. He's now down in the 9th position. So that's a tough break for him. He's now trying to get to the inside of Henry Gore. Anthony's still is on the inside of Rogers. And they're going to be side by side into turn 3. And Anthony will get the position. So Rogers basically lost 3 positions as a result. And I think Keen Rally pretty frustrated with the fact that he was stuck behind the 98 there. Brandon Bent continuing to lead. Miller still in second. Rowe is in third, but under a lot of pressure. Tristan Allen right on the back of him. It was just a little bump. I don't think it'll do much. I don't think it'll affect the car too much, but still a bit unsettling. We got Noah Clifton back in the 5th position. Watching this battle go on. Allen slots back into line, and he will hold on to the 4th position for now, but he might try and reach for the 3rd position here in turn 3. He nearly ran into the back of the 51 there, and Clifton's closing in too in the number 6. It's a great run for him in South Florida Motorsports right now, and of course, as mentioned multiple times, Brock out, Rose out, Nichols out, Carter Friesen, his teammates out, so this is a much needed run. And Denton, of course, nowhere near the front at the moment. He fell back on that pit cycle, so this is a great run for Clifton, exactly what he needed, as Allen trying to get past this 51 here and try and move up to the 3rd position, potentially challenge his teammate Brandon Bent, and of course Dawson Miller in the 48 as well. Yeah, everything's still single file. The top 2 have broken away. Bent and Miller just pulled away from Alexander Rowe in the 3rd position. And off of turn 3, Miller, of course, winless so far in the year. Brandon Bent, of course, won at Talladega. As Clifton potentially try and move up into the 4th position. Won't be able to do so. But, Rowe able to hold on, but they are losing ground. Now 2nd off the lead. There's Anthony, of course, the Season 3 Pocono winner. The first Season 3 Pocono winner. Cyrus McGee, of course, won the other race, and he's in 21 at the time. Went on to win the championship that year, Cyrus McGee. And Brandon Bent, of course, went on to win the championship in Season 4. So, who knows? Where this race might be in for some good things in the future. As here goes Allen to the inside of Alexander Rowe. Looking to finally put him behind him here. And looks like he'll be able to do so. As big move to the inside goes Noah Clifton. And Clifton is pitting on lap 40. So, with about 10 to go, he's pitting, and that's his teammates Zakoma Yassi back in the 20. Both those guys pitting Noah Kim. So now it comes down to strategy. Of course, last time out at Kansas, we had big strategy gamble by Brandon Bent. It didn't pay off, but didn't lose anything in the end. He was 2nd going into the pit stops and came out 2nd by the end. So, it's worth the gamble in the end, as he said. But these 2 guys have pulled away. 1.3 seconds ahead of Tristan Allen, now in the 3rd position. And you'd expect these guys to pit this lap probably, or maybe next one. Is these guys going to stay out for now? Allen in the 3rd position. Anthony is got by Alexander Rowe. So Anthony up in the 4th. As here comes Kelly Lee, Keenan Raleigh. They're coming down. Porkins back in there as well on the 71 as well. There's a Komayasi. We'll see. There's Clifton. There is Noah Clifton. So Clifton may be undercutting here, and wasn't terribly far off these guys. So, of course, on fresh tyres, you do get benefits of faster times now. So watch out for the 6. We'll see where he comes into all of this. As Bent continuing to lead. Miller is all over the back of him here, and I think Brandon Bent a bit lower. I think he's going to pit this time, and he will. Miller is going to stay out an extra lap. And he does indeed. Miller does stay out an extra lap, but Brandon Bent is pitting. Allen, the 51 of Rowe, the 98 of Rogers, and the 72 of Gore. You got Caesar, and I think that was Davenport back in there. John Andrews, Billy Notavio, Diego Yepez, all those guys coming down pit road. It's a big moment in the race right here. But the 48 stay down in front. Those are all lap guys behind them. Dominic Anthony in the 39 is 2nd. There he is. Richard Fridge in the 26. He's in 3rd at the moment. He stayed out an extra lap. But, it's a good run for Richard Fridge if he can get a decent run out of it. Of course, he was coming in 19th in points. So he's another one of those guys that would benefit greatly from William Brock's issues. And here we go. Miller is pitting from the lead here. And here come the rest of those guys that pitted. And Brandon Bent is way out ahead of Tristan Allen. So Brandon Bent, we'll see where he comes out in relation to Miller. Of course, Miller stayed out an extra lap. Anthony and Denton's coming down as well. Richard Fridge staying out an extra lap. 26, so he's the race leader right now, but I don't think he'll be there for much longer. So here we go. Right sides. Oh, a little bit of contact too. We'll see if that affects the 48 as the 27 comes down the front straightaway. Here goes the 48 of Miller. And we'll see here. We'll see. He's ahead of him. He's ahead of him for now. Off into turn number 1. Brandon Bent with the worn-out tyres. Of course, 2 laps older tyres than the 48. But the 48 has jumped the 27 there. On that round of pit cycles, he took 2 tyres. I think Brandon Bent probably took 2 as well. But the 48 has got the lead. But Brandon Bent is closing in. He is really closing up, and he's going to try and make a move here into turn number 3. Does he get to the inside? He does, and he will breeze past Dawson Miller. And coming to 5 laps to go, Miller on the outside falling back, and Brandon Bent with 5 laps to go retakes the lead. So the 48 jumped in for a moment, but not for long. Bent leads once again. There's Richard Fridge. He has come down. I'm not sure where he will end up in all of this, but he's come down. So Bent leads, and the 27 looked to get a second win in the last 3 races. Of course, if he does win, he'd become the 3rd driver all time to get to 10 wins, double-digit wins. Tristan Allen's one of those drivers with double-digit wins. Alexander Rowe is in the 4th position. Rogers getting past Richard Fridge. He's in the 5th position. Kelly Lee up into 6th now. Fridge drops to 7th, but those 2 guys there, Lee and Fridge, 19th and 20th in points. Keep an eye out on them. They are probably going to be the ones that benefit the most. Then Anthony, Gore, and Keenan Rowley in the top 10 getting past the lap car there, Chris Maley. So this is 5 laps to go. I thought the last one was 5 laps to go, but this is 5 laps to go. Apologies about that. 5 laps to go, and Miller looking to try and get back to the 27 and try and get his first win of the year. And of course, Brandon Bent looking for his 2nd win of the year. And I tell you what, these 2 guys joined the series back in season 2, been a part of every race since then, and they've had a bunch of good battles. And of course, Miller, no slouch, of course. Finished 3rd in the points. Nicotech, disappointing year for the most part, but Miller was the standout. 3rd in points, 4 wins. And all of them came from races 11 through to 26. He hasn't won a race so far this year, so he's in the 2nd position and looking to try and get to the 27. We got 4 laps to go here at Pocono, so still a long way to go in this race. Not a huge way to go, but there's still enough time for Dawson Miller because he is close enough. Not to make a move, but he's certainly close enough in the next few laps to try and make that move. And he might actually make it here because he got a good run through turn 1. He's going to be down the straightaway, heading towards the tunnel turn. Does he make the move here? He's looking, he's thinking about it. Maybe he got into him a little bit. He's gone to the inside. Side by side, heading off towards turn number 3. Does Miller get past Brandon Bent? Through turn 3, it looks like he will, and Dawson Miller, does he clear? He does. Dawson Miller retakes the lead here at Pocono with 3 laps to go. Looking to get his first win of the year. Brandon Bent in the 27 looking to try and make a move back on the 48, and don't look now if they continue to fight Tristan Allen. He could, and Alexander Rowe for that matter, they could potentially go for the win. They're a 2nd off these 2 guys here. Brandon Bent not close enough to make a move yet. Another tunnel turn, but there's still 2 and a bit laps to go. So there's still a bit of time for Brandon Bent, but he's got to get closer than where he is right now. For Miller, looking to get his 9th Cup Series win. Rounding turn 3, coming to 2 laps to go in the PPG of Hates 400. Cody Smart is not a part of it. He is nearly a lap down. Bent is closing in a little bit on the straightaway, but he's just not close enough to make that move in turn 1. Off of turn number 1, down the straight, heading towards the tunnel turn, and a Miller with an excellent run down that straightaway, keeping Brandon Bent far enough away, and Bent might make a move. Potentially got a decent run through turn 2, but he didn't quite get a good enough run, and these two guys I think are out of it. I don't think they're close enough to make that challenge. Even though they are closing in, they're just not close enough, and I tell you what, Miller got an excellent run through turn 3 that time. And he is going to see the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Pocono, the final race of 2020. Looks like we'll come down to the top 2 guys. Bent looking to rally, looking to try and get to Dawson Miller in the 48. Down the straightaway, heading towards the tunnel turn for the final time. Dawson Miller looking for career win number 9 and Nicotech's 3rd win of the year. Bent is not close enough. He just isn't close enough to make a move here into turn 3. He's not going to do it. It's going to be Miller. Dawson Miller's going to do it. Off of turn 3 for the final time. For the first time this year, Dawson Miller's going to victory lane. He wins the PPG Paints 400 at Pocono. Career win number 9. And the 3rd for Nicotech this year, the 2nd at Pocono. Well, Miller's first win at Pocono, but Nicotech's 2nd at the track. Have to date back to season 2, of course, with Keenan Rally. Brandon Bent in 2nd. Great run for him. Tristan Allen in 3rd. He will extend the points lead over Julio Caesar, Alexander Rowe, and Jake Rogers. Nice rebound race for Rogers after the disappointment at Kansas. But that very interesting race, and Miller gets, well, for these guys there, all that top 5, pretty hard for them to fall out of that top 16 now. They're pretty good to go with 5 races left, and a great performance by Dawson Miller. Started from 3rd, stuck behind the 21 early on, Colin Denton, and didn't lead the most laps in this race, but got the job done when it mattered the most. So, 3rd win for Nicotech this year. Miller's 1st of the season. And he will get the job done, as I think that's Addison Steinbach and Diego Yepes. They've crashed on pit road back in there. But, yeah, well done to Dawson Miller. Gets his 1st win of the season. Gets it at a very important time and might build some momentum for the remainder of the regular season, heading towards the chase. And we will see what we can do. And it was Steinbach involved in the 53. That car heavily torn up on the front end. Here are the end results. Miller, Bent, Allen, Rowe, Rogers, the top 5. Anthony Gore, and then Clifton, Lee, and Richard Fridge. All with excellent runs at the bottom of the top 10. Exactly what they needed. Charlie Davenport in 14th. Keenan Rowley fell to 15th in the end. Colin Denton had a decent run going till the 2nd pit stop. He fell back to 18th in the end. Steinbach and Yepes were both up in the top 5 points. Those were the top 5 in points in the race. Then 23rd, 24th, and then Cody Smart had issues. Maley had issues. Nelson had issues, and all those other guys involved in the big crash on lap 9, including William Brock, Carter Friesen, Jamie Rose, Benny Watson. Not the results they were looking for at all. Here are the standings. Tristan Allen extends his points lead to 13 points over Julio Caesar. Miller moves into the top 4 with that win. Brandon Bent moves up as well. And then here are the all-important bubble spots, and Fridge and Lee move in. Rose and Brock fall out, and it's a tie that would go to Kelly Lee on tiebreaker as it currently stands. Brock fell to 21st in points, a tough break for him, and really it comes down to the top 22 as everyone else a race or more back. And that battle for the final spot in the top 35 and Nona points will go to Jared Oren. He continues, even with the bad race, that 91 continues to hang in the top 35 over the 19 of Derek Hamill and Buck Racing. You see the rest of those guys there. Tough break for them. Thank you so much for watching the AKG Cup Series PPG 400 at Pocono. We will see you guys next time at the Rock. See you then.